god, what do I need to pee?
I'm nervous now.
You need to pee.
I don't, I'm just nervous.
Oh my god,
I'm nervous as well. Now that Elle's gone, I'm like,
everyone's very
crying.
needy. Ma.
Like Sharpay.
Welcome, guys. Right, well, it's Sapna and Daisy, and this is the LuxeGirl podcast. Today, we are joined by Bea and Amrit, our extended LuxeGirl team. We're very excited. Before we get into it, I feel like there's obviously going to be quite a few people that have never seen LuxeGirl before or don't know anything about LuxeGirl. So, just for a little bit of context, LuxeGirl is basically the younger little sister of SheerLuxe, which is an online publication. We talk all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, relationships, literally everything. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, on our LuxeGirl Hub, which is on site, and we do a lot on YouTube as well. We originally had our show on YouTube, but we've changed things up a bit. This is our new format, podcast form. We're very excited, and yeah, we're just going to be speaking all things fashion, beauty, dilemmas, everything, and
wherever you're listening to us, like, hello.
Welcome.
We're here. We're in your ears right now. That is quite exciting.
Do bear with us because this is our first time doing like a podcast.
Yeah, let's just welcome Bea and Amrit.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
We should probably set the scene. What we do at SheerLuxe, what we do at LuxeGirl. So Bea, tell us a bit more.
So I'm the product editor, so I do like a mixture of lifestyle, fashion, interiors.
Bea basically has impeccable taste.
Yeah,
very
basically.
good taste.
And if it's Bea approved, it's pretty good.
yes.
It's a sexy product. So
Especially
I spent hours.
Like you're so good with interiors.
Really?
Like,
You just find like the quirkiest, like
I
most
spent
unique
hours. I mean, it's
products.
like my life is like scrolling through every single website. I do love it. And
you must dream of like the Liberties.
Oh my god, don't.
Oh,
It's
home
literally-
section.
Yeah.
And also, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I can't remember whether that was in my dream, whether I actually was doing it. You know?
And Amrit, fashion assistant.
Yeah, that's me.
Most girls
So,
would kill for your job.
I mean, it's pretty great. I mean, I range, so I do a lot of shoots. I have to prep and prepare all the product for all of that. And it's really cool that I actually get to go on all the shoots as well and
Yeah,
assist
that's
on that.
sick.
And I get to experience so many different like locations, seeing all these amazing models and brands, working with so many brands. And then I do a few product roundups, starting to do a few more interviews now.
And you work with me a lot for social.
Yeah, work
kinda
with
pulling
Daisy
all
a
the trend
lot.
guides.
Exactly. And then obviously TikTok now is such a big thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
Making about 1 billion TikToks a day. But I mean,
Guys,
it's so fun.
What you mean Kim's sister?
Okay. Kim's sister makes 1 billion TikToks a day.
Can we just clarify? Your sister, right, is an influencer.
Yeah, so my sister Kim Mann, influencer, and she does a lot of TikTok, and now I've become known as like Kim's
Yeah.
sister on TikTok. And it's
Basically,
like,
every time we like post a TikTok, there's like her fans that are there like, oh my god, it's Kim's sister.
it's like, guys, I
Like,
have
guys,
a
it's
name.
Amrit.
It's Amrit.
Yeah, so move over. It's not Kim's. It's
No.
not Kim's sister.
No,
It's
no.
Amrit Mann.
It's Amrit Mann. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, can we also just
Amrit's
talk
sister.
about it's given me the fear over the weekend because I
What?
went to bed on Friday night and we'd posted the dupes TikTok.
Oh,
yeah.
I've
so
woken
funny.
up and it's got 2.5 million.
it's so funny. I love
Oh
it.
my god, that's
I love
amazing.
it.
Nearly 100,000 likes.
It's always the random ones.
The
isn't it?
random
it's always
ones, yeah.
the random ones that are off the cuff, and we're like, oh, that'd be funny, and then they always do so well. And then the
Exactly.
ones we really think about, they just do shit.
Yeah.
But to think that so many people like the
Did
whole
you
of
upload it
Wembley.
yesterday?
Uploaded it on
The whole
Friday.
of Wembley.
The whole of Wembley have liked our TikTok.
That's so
No.
weird.
So if you don't follow us on TikTok, we'll link it below.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, we're popping off.
We
Honestly.
are
really
honestly.
are slaying,
I
guys.
think it's all about
slaying.
No, we've actually also said you cannot. You've used that word
Okay,
once now.
once.
It's
Okay.
Amrit's favourite word. I think she started saying it
wanna ban.
ironically, and now it's become like
And
a
now,
tick.
yeah, it's like it's become
So,
like a part of my journal.
Everyone can say the word slay once. Amrit, you're done.
I'm done.
I mean, we're a few
I'm
minutes
cut
in,
off.
so you've really.
Again, I'm calm.
Anyway, what's everyone been up to this weekend? I want full weekend debriefs,
Yeah.
starting with you, Sapna.
Oh my god, don't come too fast. I'm so bad. I literally purposely do not plan things for the weekend because I'm just such a hermit. I love
You're a
doing
chiller, I
nothing.
love it.
I really am. I'm a very like slow, chill person. I love doing nothing. But actually, on Sunday, I went to go meet a friend, went for a coffee. I actually read a magazine, a physical
Oh my
magazine for the
God.
first time in so long. I used to all the time.
Really?
It was actually just so good for inspiration. Like I came in this morning to Becky, like Becky, I have all these ideas. So that
great.
was really nice. I want to do that as like a ritual.
And Becky
I
is
feel.
your.
Becky's my manager. She
Our
is
senior beauty editor.
Exactly.
Which
And also-
magazine was it?
It was Vogue.
Oh, of course.
With Priyanka Chopra on the
Oh,
front.
I would love that.
And also, I've been wanting to ask you because I saw you ordered. Was it a Magimix?
Oh, it's a Ninja blender.
Right. So tell me,
Oh.
what have you been using with that?
Babe, I made nut butter. Oh my
nut
God.
butter. Sapna told me, I was like, what is nut butter?
I came in the next day like, guys, I made nut butter, and no one gave a
So
shit.
you spent like 50 quid on nuts?
Wait,
No,
is nut butter
no, no,
not
no,
just
no.
peanut butter?
Yeah, okay, listen. It's actually so much cheaper than buying.
Really?
Because buying a nut is cheap. Like, you can literally buy them in bulk, just
Right.
nuts, just buy, like, whatever. All you have to do is put them in the blender.
With a bit of water?
With nothing.
Oh,
You
really?
just
and
blend.
and it just makes butter.
Yeah. I will say you need
Wow.
to have a good blender. Obviously, I did it because I got a blender for Christmas.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you really know you're maturing when you buy a blender.
I know. And I bought it for myself. It wasn't even like a gift or anything.
Oh no.
But I honestly really, really rate this blender. It's £150, which you can get. No, but you can get blenders for
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
more
feel like
than
that's
that.
quite an okay price.
Yeah, I
for
got
a
that on
blender.
Amazon. No, you can get
crikey.
blenders for way more. And it's a 3-in-1, so you can do smoothies.
I'm so excited about a blender.
I'm genuinely, I love it. You can do smoothies. It's a food processor and it's a juicer or something, and you can literally do
Amazing.
The
everything.
discount code.
What are you
Or
doing with your nut
honestly-
butter? Like
just
where do
porridge.
you put oats porridge?
Everything.
Peanut butter.
Apples,
Oh,
toast,
yeah, yum.
whatever. But
Love
I basically
that.
made like my own blend, right? I did
Unique.
walnuts and this is so lame, and macadamia nuts, and I added like a little bit of salt, a little bit of maple syrup, and
Yes.
a tiny bit of cinnamon, and it is just so good.
Bea, what did you get up to this weekend?
Oh my god, I actually had such a cute weekend. I booked off
You were
Thursday
all
and
over.
Friday.
You were all over the
I
place.
know, do you
Yeah.
know what? It was really, everyone's like, oh, you look like you had a really relaxing time. We actually did so much travelling. But I booked Thursday and Friday off work and went to stay at, what's it called? The Wild Rabbit in the Cotswolds with my sister.
I've never heard of
So
that.
nice.
It's so cute. It's like part of the Dalesford and Bamford kind
really
of
nice.
that group. I went to Marlow yesterday for lunch. I feel like I literally
so
did.
nice.
Went to Bicester.
So nice.
Oh my god, guys, hang on. I
Bicester
told Amrit already.
Village. Bicester
Hold
Village.
up.
Throwback.
Hold
I
up.
was saying to be,
I
I've not been
thought
there
so.
in so long.
I thought so. I was so ready to
Oh
be
my
like
God.
walk around it, be like, it's all shit. Like there's nothing here. Oh my god, guys. So basically, we went to Bottega to have a look at sunglasses. I was holding a pair that I'd bought the other week in the Matcha sale.
Oh, so you had them already, right?
I had a pair
Okay,
already
yeah.
that I was holding, so we walked in there. And the shop guy was like looking at me a bit weirdly as I was walking around, and I was like, oh no, he definitely thinks I've stolen this. Is so awkward. And then me and my sister were like trying on pairs, like having a bit of a laugh. And then as we were walking out, he was like, come here. And I was like, oh my God. He's about to have a go at me. And I was like, I swear I haven't stolen these. And then he like brings out this bag and there's loads of sunnies. And also, guys, I'm such a sunglass person. Like, sunglasses are like my
Oh, yeah,
thing.
it's your thing.
Love a sunglass, love a jazzy sunglass. And he just brings out all these pairs and he was like, you're going to die when you know the price. And I was like, you're going to tell me that they're loads and I now love them all, which is a real problem. He was like, £33. And one of them was a pair. You know that pair? So they did it, I don't know if you've seen it, but they did a pair in like pastel colours, like pale pink, pale yellow, pale blue, in summer, and it was like they had like black frames. They're kind of sporty with like a strip of colour going along the top.
a bit
of
like
it.
a run, like an Oakley.
Yeah, that style.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And I wanted them all
They
summer.
are
And they had them. Guys, I went mad. I know, literally, it was like the find of the century.
I mean, how much do they usually retail for?
like £400.
Yeah, that's
Do
ridiculous.
you think it's like, you know, like Costa Coffee when they're allowed to give 3 free coffees a day or whatever?
yeah.
Do you think he was
Well,
just sort of
so
checking
he
you
said-
out and
So
thinking?
he was like, you guys were so friendly. He was like, I loved your vibe. Like, he was so nice.
What?
Oh
I
my
loved your
God.
vibe.
He's
I
not
love fucking
gatekeeping, is he?
Yeah.
He's not gatekeeping the Bottega Sunnies.
I know, literally.
God,
I couldn't believe it. So yeah, so that was a really
You had a great
good
weekend.
highlight of my
I mean, I think this is our sign that we all need to go to Bicester.
Yeah, I've never been to
Bicester.
Bicester.
Not only that, but go, but be so friendly.
And be
to
so
everyone
friendly.
working in there.
All the
Like,
workers.
LuxeGirls
Yeah.
take
Good
Bicester
karma,
Village.
that.
Guys, do you know I used to work there?
Did you?
That is so
I worked
funny.
in Victoria Beckham. I worked in Tory Burch. I've
She's a
honestly
retail
Wow.
queen.
retail queen, but I swore that I will never go back there because it just
Is it just
brings
retail?
back bad memories.
What
Yeah.
were people really mean to you?
No, it's just clock watching. It was just standing on shop floor. But do you know what? It
Yeah.
funded my whole like summer lifestyle
Yeah.
That's so
back
good.
when I was younger. so
Retail is quite like
it's
that.
retail's
isn't it?
tough,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's
Anyone that works in
cutthroat.
retail,
Yeah.
hats off to them.
Oh my
And
gosh,
also
I know.
working weekends as well, like fair play.
Amrit, what did you get up to?
So mine was actually the most boring weekend I've ever
You were
had.
at those are the best.
Yeah, but
BPS.
I know, but I was by myself the entire weekend, which is actually quite nice because I've got like really busy weekends coming up and I've got my big trip. So I just had to buy a few things that like just basics from Uniqlo, you know, the Heat Tech collection.
yeah?
I'm off to India for 2 weeks and apparently it's very cold there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's like okay in the daytime, but obviously they don't have any heating there. So in the night I'm going to be like frozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went crazy in the Heat Tech collection at Uniqlo, bought the thermal leggings, the thermal like polo top,
That's so good.
the
All
long
of my
sleeve top,
stuff's in there too.
t-shirts, basically just went crazy.
But your cop of the weekend must be what you've got on now.
Yes, exactly. So I'm obsessed with Skims. I think you guys know I literally buy Skims everything. But there's one top which is the Fits Everybody collection, the black long sleeve one turtleneck, which is so hard to get. And
Always
then I
sold
found
out,
this, guys.
So for people listening, Amrit has got the most insane
Dupe.
Skims dupe.
So this turtleneck, it's like from Zara, guys, £20.
So good.
The most like incredible tight fitting turtleneck, and the material, like if you feel this, it's like
such good quality.
It's like so.
I really want to feel it, but
It's like such like soft.
It's thick.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I've got a t-shirt on underneath.
Oh, yeah.
So cold. But yeah, this was my like buy of the weekend.
I love
I mean, and I bought it in white, I bought it in brown, black. So I'm sorted. Yeah.
Brilliant.
£20 get yourself down there, guys.
Well, I had quite a chilled weekend because last weekend I was in Copenhagen.
Oh, yeah.
Which, and to be honest, I must thank Bea because you were literally my rec list.
Did you go to any of the?
I went to pretty much everywhere you told me to go, but I literally want to be you because I booked the hotel as well. But the hotel was insane. It had this pool which you could book 45 minute sessions, and it was heated.
Yeah. And did they have DJs at night?
Yes, they did.
Cool.
And
Oh,
we had a sauna, had a swim. It was amazing. But if you are thinking of going to Copenhagen, you have to go. It is the coolest place.
It's
so
such a good
cool.
like little weekend getaway. I think everyone opts for Paris or you know like Berlin, I guess, but Copenhagen's so fun. It's so trendy. It's just so like
I just
on
love
your
the
radar
lifestyle.
and, like,
I could live there. I mean, you know how much I love cycling. Like I cycle to work. I have my little basket. In Copenhagen, they cycle everywhere. They're so effortlessly cool. They all have just a cool pair of trainers and a long coat, and they just
no makeup.
No
and
makeup.
also
Honestly, it's
dreamy.
what is in the water there?
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
is just fucking like
But I think
stunning.
they live quite a healthy lifestyle. Like no one
Definitely.
goes out
Right.
in the evening. It's quite quiet, even at
Yeah.
the
Yeah, because we were
weekend.
saying that. I mean, the restaurants are packed at 5:30, 6 o'clock. They're packed. Whereas London, I feel it has that buzz in sort of 8, 9 p.m.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
everyone's gone to bed, haven't they?
Oh,
at
that is my
sort of time? I
ideal
know.
situation.
I
I
feel
literally love eating at 5 o'clock and then like going to bed by 10.
My top rec for the whole weekend was a place called Bottega Bali, Barlie. Amazing.
Oh, that sounds
Such
so
good
good.
food.
And you posted TikTok as well, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
or
did.
an Instagram.
Yeah,
so
so
go check that out.
Yeah, this weekend I had a very relaxed, cooked a roast yesterday.
Lovely.
Went on a run. Yeah, just.
I have a question. Do you like jam with your brother? Yeah. Because I saw on your story
Yeah, I
that he
saw
was that was your brother,
Yeah,
wasn't
so
it?
my
That was
brother,
Archie.
so my brother and I live together, but he has moved out for the last 5 months. So I've had sort of someone else in the room. He came back at the weekend, and he plays guitar.
I just thought that
and we
was so
literally
cute.
have these jam
So
sessions.
cute.
That was so
But the
sweet.
funniest thing is, B, you live on the same road as me,
next door. We're
next door,
neighbours.
and B can hear, you can smell when we have a barbecue, can't you?
Oh,
So yeah, if you hear a guitar,
that
Daisy
is
not
so
your jamming.
The thought of living with just me and my brother, like it's so nice that you guys are so close, because like I could never do that.
Really?
well, it's a love-hate relationship, you know. It's like,
But,
like any sibling.
You're okay to like live with him. Like
Yeah.
I could do that with my sister, but with my brother, he literally hates us, so that would just not be a thing. But it's nice that you guys can do that.
So I'd love to know what everyone's loving at the moment. I feel like I've not bought anything in a really long time. Actually, that's such a lie. I have like short-term memory loss because I buy so much shit and people are like, oh, what was the last thing? And I literally forget. But anyways, Amrit, so what is something that you have bought recently that you would like to share with the group?
With the group. Okay.
Show and
so
tell.
Show and tell.
one thing I'm actually really obsessed with is actually a food.
Okay.
And I saw this on my story, and it's basically Doughlicious cookie dough.
yes.
This is so weird. I was gonna say this.
Were you? Oh my
It's
god.
insane.
Yeah, that
Go
is
ahead.
crazy.
You roll with it.
Yeah, so I get the salted caramel dark chocolate flavour, and I'm having them like every night. Like it's actually becoming a really bad habit, but I'm honestly obsessed. Like put them in the oven, and they just turn into these like amazing, like soft, gooey, like chocolate cookies.
Okay, question. Sorry.
Yes.
So you do have to cook them.
Yep. So they come frozen.
Right, I've fucked up, guys.
God.
Did you eat them raw?
I've been eating them raw.
Ew, no, they're frozen. How can you do
No,
that?
no, mine wasn't frozen. Well, Charlotte got sent them like last year, and she was like, "Guys, who wants some?" I was like, "Yeah," and then we both just started eating them raw, and we were
Oh
like,
no,
"Yum."
but maybe you can. But obviously, we're buying them frozen.
Frozen.
so-
Okay, fine. Maybe the other ones you have like refrigerated.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I hope
so.
so.
I'm having them with a bit of ice cream on the side, and
yum.
the best dessert ever. I'm honestly obsessed.
And the flavours, they do peanut butter, they do matcha, they do dark
yeah,
chocolate,
so
salted
many
caramel.
flavours.
Can I also say they're dairy free,
Are they?
vegan, and gluten free, because your gal has now realised she's gluten free as well.
How do you
I mean,
get them? Like, are they in supermarkets?
So I'm buying them from my local Tesco's. Yeah, I saw them and I was like, I need to buy them.
How funny that we both.
I know.
I love that.
I love that for us.
Bea, what are you loving right now?
I'm loving so much this it's called YU, the brand YU hot water bottles. They're like these long thin hot water bottles. I walk around with a hot water bottle everywhere I go. And it's basically it stays warm like all night long because it's just one really long thin one, and I think the nice thing about this brand is they all come in really nice cases. Like I feel like sometimes they can look a bit naff, the hot water bottle covers, but they've got really nice covers.
What, like different colours?
Yeah, really nice prints. And then also it has a tie at either end, so like if you're on your period or something, you've got cramps, you can tie it around you. Isn't that so fab? Yeah, I highly recommend
So I've got
it.
a long one, but I find it a bit difficult because you can't wrap it.
Yeah,
So
I
this
find
one
that.
fully, because it's like skinny and long, it fully like flops around you how you want
Love
it.
that.
And it's so nice.
Brilliant.
It's just changed my life. Okay, this is so random, but I've never bought anything off Boohoo.
Oh god.
It's really guys, it's so random, but like I ordered this jacket because I saw a girl wear it on Instagram and I was like, oh, it's probably going to be terrible, but let's just order it, whatever. There was like, it was sending me the like pest emails being like, it's about to go. I was like, okay, let's just do it. And I ordered it, and it's a black bomber like PU jacket, and it's so cool. I'm really obsessed with like Hailey Bieber in her bomber jacket and like jeans and loafers, and it's such a good like I can't wait to wear it. And it was like £40.
Brilliant.
I
Bargain.
know. So I was really happy with that
call.
buy.
I mean, bomber jackets are so in.
Oh my god!
I
I
mean,
mean,
so in. I've been
today in the
everyone.
office,
I mean,
literally
everyone's
everyone's wearing bomber
Yeah.
jackets. So
yeah,
funny.
we walked in and there was a bomber. I was thinking TikTok.
Yeah. Days, what are you loving?
Do you know what? I go on and on about them, and I posted them on Instagram.
we
But
would
my
love
fluffy
these.
Birkenstocks, I'm obsessed.
They're the best.
They're so good.
Bit more expensive, but I can honestly tell you they are so worth the money.
You've definitely got your cosplay wear out those.
Definitely.
100%.
Also, where are these socks from? She's wearing some really nice like.
Oh yeah,
fluffy
they're from a company called Pears. They're
Oh
like,
yes.
yeah.
they're
Oh yeah.
so
Pairs are the
good.
best.
My other one, bit rogue. You've already covered Delicious, but the bao buns in M&S that are shaped like bunnies.
Okay.
And I'm now gluten free, so I shouldn't really be eating them. But they are just the coolest thing ever.
What flavour are they?
Yeah, what flavour?
I think they're just like a hoisin duck, but they've
Oh
got
my
little
God,
bunnies
yum.
on.
Oh, actually, I saw them at Christmas. They did reindeer ones, so they must just do them
Yes.
seasonally for like I guess
Yeah, and you
Easter's
get
coming
Easter's
up.
coming
unicorns.
up,
You
yeah.
get unicorns
Oh,
as well.
so fun.
Sapna, what are you loving?
Wow, so it's not super new, but YSL basically have this new makeup range for Gen Z, and it's called YSL New, like NU.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the packaging's really like trendy, and it's like so sleek and cool, and it's not that expensive either compared to obviously normal YSL makeup. And I've recently tried their foundation, and it's kind of like their whole thing is it's skincare and makeup, so it's like hybrids.
Okay, cool.
And it's so nice.
Really?
I'm wearing it now. I've got a bit more than just that on, but obviously it feels like nothing on your skin. Like it just feels so good. So I really recommend that. Oh, I bought a cap.
Cap.
I bought a cap. Like I really didn't need the cap, but basically I was just looking around Mango the other day, and it was on sale. It was like £7, and it's just this really nice dark green cap off duty vibes. I think it says like taking a break, like something really cringy like that.
Out of office.
Out of office, yeah. But it's really nice. I feel like I look really nice actually with double denim.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like a long black coat.
A khaki cap is cool.
Yeah, it's not really khaki. It's like a dark, like foresty green.
Foresty
Nice.
green,
Is
yeah.
it like a wash? I think I've seen it. Like a
No,
green kind of
I've
dark
seen
wash.
that one
Yeah.
though, but no, it's just like a dark green. And then that actually reminded me, my other thing is my weekday Alex coat. I know Amrit's got it as well.
Oh my God, I've got it too.
Beatrice got
it as
one.
well. Honestly, it is the best coat I've bought probably ever.
Yeah.
Like just the
It's so
fit
true.
is so good, and obviously it's not cheap. It's like about £100, but I wear it every single
Yeah.
day, and it's just that like Hailey Bieber,
It
really
is,
cool,
yeah.
like sleek fit. So worth it.
Love it.
Oh, I absolutely love that coat.
Me and Bea
I
are
highly
obsessed.
I couldn't
Just wore the
believe the
black one.
quality of it. It's so thick.
It's really good.
Yeah.
This moves us on nicely to
Oh,
segues
yeah.
into our next segment. We were having a discussion, and we were like, stop this right now because this is such good podcast chat.
Yeah.
We were basically thinking back of what we used to wear essentially back in the 2000s.
Yeah,
Oh
or like,
God,
or
oh
not
my God.
especially us, but like just like the things
The
that
trends.
were like trends that were cool. Like, obviously, people love skinny jeans and things like that.
Yeah.
We were thinking like, in 10 years' time, what things that we are currently like so obsessed with are going to be like really weird? Are we leaving Slay behind?
Don't know about that one, you know. I feel like I'm slowly letting it go,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Everyone's getting sick of it.
Well, no, I feel like it's honestly like just the language has just changed because of TikTok. There's so many things like that it's giving this and it's like giving. All these things I feel like we need to leave it behind.
It's the abbreviations that are getting a bit much. I was with a friend yesterday and she goes, should we go and get a TCO? And I thought,
what's
that? Terry's chocolate orange.
No.
Oh no, that's too much.
I kind of like it. I
quite like
the riddle.
Because what are they? They're calling it the Cosy Libs. The cost
oh
of
my
living
god!
crisis.
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
It
was
yeah.
Platy Jubes, now Cosy Libs.
Platy Jubes will go down in history.
Quite fun. I'm kind of here for it.
But it's like I feel like we all started saying it ironically, and now I'll be in a meeting and be like, yeah, that's giving this, and I'm like, I can't say that. Like that's just not professional. So yeah, I think we need to maybe leave that behind.
Yeah.
Fashion things. You know what I actually think? Not leaving behind 2020 because I love it, but I think in a couple years' time, things like a matching suit, people are gonna be like, that's so cringe. That's so like, you know, like the Matilda Jar vibe, like wearing a matching suit.
I think that will stay.
Yeah,
cool.
I think it will.
For like 10 years, but in 10 years' time, it's gonna be like, what the fuck was that?
Honestly, this gives me it replays in my mind the fact I ever thought it was acceptable to wear these, and my girlfriends. They literally do not let me live this down. At uni, I used to wear the black Joni jeans.
I
from
knew
top
you
to
were gonna
wait,
say that. I
wait,
knew you were gonna say that.
And they had slits from the thighs
Oh my God, I know
down,
exactly which one
down
you're
to the knee, and I thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
Like I used to go out in like my bodycon top. Like I
Yes.
honestly
Oh my
thought
God,
I
yes.
was.
What was it with us wearing like just tight
all the way down.
Yeah.
because I used
But
to
the
do
rip,
that as well.
guys, can you
The rip.
remember?
Yeah, I
that?
know
The
which one you're
rip.
talking
and then your dad would be like, oh, you've got rips in your jeans. Like, Dad, it's meant to be like that.
Did you pay half the price for those? Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you think they're gonna come back?
I don't know. See, I saw Elsa Hosk wear skinny jeans with some like knee-high boots and a big fur jacket.
I like
And
that.
I thought it looked quite cool. But I think like you can have skinny and then you can have like quite slim fit. I think the slim fit looks quite cool.
Well, I think quite
But
a
you've
few
got to
people,
style it right,
They
I
are.
think.
I think a lot of people are still wearing skinny jeans, but I think it's like a choice for like a more grown-up look. I just think like for that edgy, like cooler look, it's just you can't do skinny
just
jeans.
can't do
I'm
it.
just
I
Yeah.
can't see it
seeing that
happening
happen
right now.
No.
I just don't find them very
Okay.
comfortable.
Have you seen
Yeah.
the belts that have come back? The 2000s belts.
No,
The disc ones.
So they're discs. They're big brown.
yes.
They're brown with silver discs on, or
Yeah,
they're silver
Yeah.
discs with
they're
brown.
like Count Western
Interesting.
style.
Yeah.
kind of.
But I actually think that, I mean, I would not be able to pull the look off. But Amrit, you in a mini skirt with one of these, I actually think
Yeah,
you'd
really
kill
cool.
it. You'd
Do you
work.
reckon?
That's so fun.
I don't think it's very me, but I can appreciate how cool
Imagine
it
it.
looks.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
very
yeah.
90s vibe.
Let's chat TV. What is everyone watching? right
Wow.
now? Go on, Amrit.
I know. So one thing that I've just finished watching, me and my sister binged it in like an entire day. Don't even know if that's possible or not, but it was Ginny in Georgia season 2.
Yes, I've literally just finished watching it as well.
It's
so good.
like so much better than season 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know it.
Okay.
Fill me in. Give me the
So
premise.
it's the story of Ginny, who is the younger girl. She's in high school. I don't know how old she is, like 16 maybe?
I want to say 15, 16.
Yeah, and then her mum at Georgia. So she's a single mum and she's got 2 kids. And it's just the story of this bratty kind of teenage girl in school living with her single mum, and her single mum basically doing everything she can to make sure that her kids have like a really good, amazing life. And there's so many things that go on, like she has a few boyfriends that Ginny doesn't really like, and she does a lot of things to like protect her children from all these like bad people who come into their lives. But it's like a wholesome TV show to watch. I think quite an easy watch.
And can
So-
you go straight to
definitely-
season 2?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's definitely like a lot of like a dark edge. I
Yeah.
think it's all like, oh, it's high school, it's this and this and this. But then it flashes back a lot to the mum, Georgia's life. She basically had Ginny when she was 15.
Yeah, very young.
And just like her past, there's a lot going on, and that's kind of coming back to haunt her. And
Yeah.
they move around a lot, like kind of running away from it, trying to hide it all from Ginny. And I think this
It
is
catches
Are
up.
you watching it?
I just started watching it as well last
I'm
week,
so
so
sorry
I'm
if
at the
that ruined
beginning.
anything.
Don't worry,
It
don't worry.
didn't.
I
I
was
don't think
really
it
scared
did.
you were going to say, I was like, don't
No,
say
no, no,
anything,
no,
don't you
don't
dare. But I just started last week, and I thought in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm just going to see what the hype's all about. And I was so ready to like watch 10 minutes of it and get bored and hate it. And I got to the end of the episode and I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's an
this
easy
is-
watch.
I'll
I
have
think
to- I'll have
because
to
it's
do
got,
this.
I know it sounds weird, but I thought it was going to be really like cute. I like the fact that it's got like the dark, it like gives it a bit of edge.
Yeah,
it makes
I
it
agree.
more interesting, I think.
Well, I'm watching a bit different to this, Breakpoint. But have you
is
heard of
that?
Breakpoint?
No, I've not heard of that.
It's
So-
a game show.
No, not game show. So it's from the makers of Drive to Survive, from the producers of
Oh,
Drive to
yes,
Survive.
the tennis.
Yeah, so
tennis,
basically,
yeah.
it is. I mean, I'm quite a tennis fan. I quite like my sporting documentaries and things like that. But basically, the first 5 episodes have just come out, and there's a part 2 which which will go into Wimbledon and the US Open, which is quite exciting. But basically, you've obviously got all of the sort of OG players like Rafa Nadal, Roger Federer, Serena Williams. I'm sure you've heard of all of those.
Yeah.
But they're obviously, they're towards the end of their careers and they're likely to retire. But we don't really ever hear about the younger players, the upcoming players. And obviously, when these players do retire, I'm sure the numbers will drop for viewing tennis. So it's quite exciting because they basically follow all the young new players.
It's like the people coming up in the
Exactly.
like the Emma Raducanu.
It's like, exactly. It's behind
Is
the
she in
scenes.
it?
Emma, I'm sure she'll be in the next season. She's not in this first season. But yeah, sort of it's all behind the scenes access. You meet the girlfriends, the
really
boyfriends,
cool.
things
Oh my
like
God,
that.
love that.
So it's really good. But it's quite exciting for tennis because it's giving a lot of exposure to these younger players, which they deserve. So yeah.
So is it more like reality?
Yeah, so it's basically you follow them through training, through
It's
sort
like
of highs and
documentary.
lows, exactly.
Okay.
And there's one guy called Nick Kyrgios who is a really cool
he's
guy.
the really like the one who gets really angry sometimes on the court
exactly.
and
So
stuff.
he's
I've seen him on TikTok.
yeah, he's
actually.
known for being like the bad boy of tennis.
Yeah.
But what I love about him, he doesn't have a proper coach, doesn't have a training plan.
Wow.
He basically just rocks up.
does what he wants.
Yeah, plays like 15 weeks of tennis a year, whereas every other player, it is their life. They live
Yeah.
and breathe tennis, and he
Yeah,
just
it's
and I
quite
quite
fun.
like it. I quite
Yeah.
rate it. 'cause
Imagine just being that good. Like you don't
exactly,
have
he's
to-
pure talent.
That's like annoying.
But he does lose. The way he does sort of have these tantrums on court, I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very professional.
No.
Because he slams his racket
It's
Does
like
down.
silly
bad
things.
sportsmanship, isn't it? Like have a bit of
Exactly. But no, it's really good. And even if you don't like tennis, I suggest you watch it because it's just fast.
Well, it's the same as like Drive to Survive. Like I never really used to be that big of a fan of Formula
Yeah.
One, and then me and my boyfriend we watched Drive to Survive and like obsessed. So
Really?
like,
Do
Do you think
it's-
it's as good as Drive to Survive? Is it on
It's
that
not as
or
good.
not?
Drive
No,
to
yeah.
Survive is
'Cause
up
that was
there,
so good.
but it is good.
This is actually reminding me of something that I've also been watching. I've been binging. This is the most random thing. I told Amrit the other day and she was like, what the fuck? Below Deck? Have any of you heard of Below
Yeah.
Deck?
yeah.
I've watched
you
that.
watched
Yeah, I
it?
feel like that was like a lockdown.
Yeah,
that was,
that was-
that
I
reminds me
missed
of
I
lockdown.
missed the boat.
You're late to the party, but I wish I was experiencing what you are now.
Oh, it's so good, but I can't stand the like the original one. I watched the Mediterranean one because it's all like British people and like
Okay.
South Africans. They're so much funnier. Like the I don't know,
I love
the
the chef.
Americans.
I love the chef.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so good. There's just so much drama. I never thought I would care this much about people on a boat, like working on a boat, but the drama and the vibes are just so good.
You just get
Below
hooked.
Deck, just a great one.
It's so good.
Have you guys watched Love Island?
Yes,
No.
I'm loving it.
Wait, are you?
I'm
I haven't
loving it.
started it. This is the
can't.
first
It's
time I've
too-
not.
Yeah.
So I
too much.
started and I was like, I'm not going to watch it. And anyway, watched the first episode and I thought, no, it's going to be, at the beginning, you always think, no, nowhere near as good as last
First
season.
episode is always
Yeah, you're like,
oh.
no. Anyway, it's so much drama. It's
really?
so great. I'm loving it.
Is it worth getting into, or do you think it's kind of like?
Yeah, so at the moment, there's this footballer called Tom. It's pretty much the Tom show at the moment, and he's being a bit naughty, like playing all the girls off each other. But I just think they're good. They've got a good eclectic mix. I also quite like that none of their family are running their social channels this year.
Yes, I've
So
had that.
That's really interesting, actually. Yeah, because obviously it's always been a thing about like the mental health, like backlash when they come back and they've got all this hate and it's awful.
Yeah, the trolling is
Horrible.
horrific. So hopefully this really brings it back.
But having said that, like people are just gonna go on Twitter and they're gonna do it anyway, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess
But
it
I think-
limits.
Yeah, and also, how upsetting for the families to read these
I have to
personal
do that. Yeah.
comments.
I also think that it changes so much. Like one episode, you can really like someone, and then the next. So
Exactly.
then, if it's just like blocked until they're out, it will hopefully get rid of quite a lot.
Yeah,
of
and at the
that's
end of the
true.
day, it's a reality show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the thing that has put me off it at the moment is apparently Jay did a podcast recently where he was talking about how staged it is, and he was told to go in, and he was told to go on a date with Ekansu because she was with Davide. I don't know who she was with. And like apparently it's like all really staged, and then I just thought, oh, that is so annoying. Like such a waste of time if it's just staged.
That's crazy. I have heard that it's quite
Yeah.
staged
I've heard.
though.
Do you
It doesn't
remember,
feel like it is.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it is. But do you remember Liam? Was it Liam? The one
Yes.
who left, he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Well, he was at an event that me and my sister were at, and we spoke to him, and he basically said that it is so staged, and he was like, it's
my
nothing what I
God.
thought it was
I
going
didn't
to
want to
be,
believe it.
and that's why he had to leave. And we were just like, well, good on you for leaving and taking
Yeah.
that step for your mental health,
Yeah,
do
fair
that.
enough.
But it's just crazy, you wouldn't think
Oh my god.
how staged it
Yeah.
is.
So next up, we're going to divert from the current sofa we're on and move over to the interview because coming up in the next few couple of podcasts, we're going to be having some really exciting guests. Yeah. And the first one this week was host of the Bipolar Diaries podcast, Anastasia McLean. I sat down with Anna and we chatted all about bipolar, her diagnosis, how she's dealt with it through her adolescence, and much more. This is just a slight trigger warning to let you know that we'll be discussing topics such as mental health and trauma. And if you find any of those subjects triggering, we'll be linking some resources and links below. I'm here with Anastasia McLean, host of the brilliant podcast, The Bipolar Diaries, and we're going to cover exactly what bipolar is today. So Anna, it's so great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I can't believe we've got another McLean in the office.
I know, sisters.
So let's get straight to it. Mm-hmm. Back to the beginning. When did you start to realise that you may think differently to others?
I think the first time I really realised that I was definitely not like them was probably when my parents took me to my first, psychologist, and my siblings had never done that before. They'd never been anywhere to something like that. And so I definitely realized that something was wrong. And just, going out with my family and always having a tough time and seeing my siblings be so happy when I was so distraught, and I just didn't get why I felt that way. So it was definitely from when I was really young. And then I guess going into high school, I just felt like something was really wrong with me. I would realize, a day after or even down the line that it was different, or I wouldn't understand that it was different, but everyone else would be telling me that it was weird, it was annoying, it was attention seeking, and I didn't understand that. I couldn't comprehend what that was. I think me being shy and an introvert at the beginning when I was young is probably who I'm meant to be, and maybe just a bit more confident as I've grown older, but my bipolar has definitely pushed me out to being too much, overly confident to the point where people are like, wow, I can't believe you just did that, and had the balls to do that.
And do you still have those shy introverted moments, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I love being by myself. I love being at home. There's weeks where I'll just want to stay at home for so long. Nothing better than being by myself. I don't even have to hang out with anyone. I know people oh, let's not go out, let's stay in. But I think that's also because I need those times to let my brain it's so overwhelming, my brain, and it's so many things are going on, and I'm overthinking a lot. I need that time to rest my brain.
Recharge.
Yeah, recharge.
So that was sort of your younger years.
Yeah.
How old are we talking? Sort of preschool?
Yeah, so preschool to probably, age 10, super shy.
Yeah.
And then suddenly when I went through, puberty and all that, which is usually kind of when bipolar might hit some people, and, I got my period and everything, that's when things started to change.
Because that's a traumatic time,
yeah,
with or without a diagnosis. But, that's going through puberty as a girl is, there's hormones, all sorts
definitely
going on. So, yeah. So then sort of come forward, you saw a psychiatrist?
So many psychiatrists,
yeah.
So many psychiatrists, so many psychologists. So finally, when I got to about the age of 20, I was like, this is the last time I'm going to do this. I dropped out of uni and I was like, I can't see another psychiatrist. And if it doesn't work, I just have to live my life how I am. So we got into someone, my sister came with me. I don't know if people do this. I do this still. My mum comes into me to the GP and they'll ask me a question and I look at my mum and I'm like, what do you think? And that was my sister. She came in and we were sitting there and everything this woman asked me, I was kind of giggly and a bit nervous. And I was like, Ali, and Ali would be like, yes, she is like that. She's fucking crazy. No, I'm kidding. But so she would come in with me and then she asked me all these questions. And at the end of it, she said, why do you think I'm asking you these questions? I didn't know. And then she just said to me, I think you have bipolar 2 disorder. And I'd heard of bipolar disorder, not bipolar 2 disorder. Mm-hmm. And
so how many different bipolars are there?
There's so many different opinions on how many there are, but what the most you'll find is that there's 4 different types.
Okay.
So bipolar 1 is quite extravagant and you go through manic episodes and you go really high and then you can go really low and you might have been probably hospitalized at some point. And then bipolar 2, which is what I have, is basically, they don't like to say it's a mild version, but it is just a lesser version of bipolar 1, really. I can go in and out of episodes a lot faster than people with bipolar 1. Bipolar 1 people might have a year in an episode.
Oh, wow, okay.
Where mine will be maybe a month. Mm-hmm. And then there's cyclothymia, which is baby bipolar. And that's kind of, again, just another version of bipolar 1 and 2. And then there's one called other, which I don't know if that is even the correct term, but it's basically people that maybe have the symptoms of like some symptoms of bipolar, but they don't quite have them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your psychiatrist knew almost
bipolar 2. Everything I said, and I started crying because I had heard of people that had bipolar, and I just was like, this is not me. These people are crazy. That's all I know of them, is that they're crazy. Because this was back in 2015, and I got in the car and I looked it up, and it was the first time I ever felt like I truly knew myself. It was like, you know, talks really fast, really rapid thoughts, really sexual, and spends a lot of money at times, can do really impulsive things, but then, you know, not. Like, it was everything that it was listing. I was like, holy shit, this is exactly who I am.
So for you, that day must have been quite...
It was the best day, like, of my life. It just, like, I woke up one day because I kept building my medication up, like my psychiatrist said. And I just woke up one day and I was just like, I felt normal. You know, I felt like everything made sense.
And how long was that process from?
Around 3 months, I reckon.
3 months.
4 months.
And did it take you a while? Was it sort of a bit of trial and error, or?
I mean, in the past, it was trial and error when we didn't know what I had.
Yeah.
But just, like, by coincidence, this medication happened to work for me. And so it was amazing. But, you know, down the line, I then had other issues, and because bipolar medication, I think, is quite easy to start. There's no change in my personality going up except improving.
Okay.
Where when I've started antidepressants, there is a really big change. You go a bit numb. I remember my sister coming home and being like to my mum, she has to get off this medication. Something's wrong with her, because I had no emotion. I couldn't cry. But eventually sticking to it and going up, then I was fine and I was back to my normal self. You know, at the end of the day, bipolar is a chemical imbalance. We are missing the chemicals that, you know, you might be born with and I'm not, or I'm missing the dosage that you might have been born with. And that comes up in like MRI scans. You know, you can see that there's certain gray matter that you might have and I don't, or I have too much of and you don't have that amount, you know? It's just putting that chemical in my brain that I didn't have. It's the same as, you know, someone with asthma, someone with an allergy. It's like they were born...
Yeah, it makes so much sense when you say it like that.
So,
you know, you'd obviously have an inhaler if you can't breathe.
Exactly.
So.
You would, if you had an allergic reaction to something, you would have your EpiPen. You know, it's so similar to that. And it's literally just taking a pill at night. And then in the morning, I take an antidepressant, which is for PTSD and narcolepsy. It actually helps with my narcolepsy. And then I also take a thyroid medication because it's really common for people with bipolar to have an underactive thyroid.
Oh, really?
And so I take all of these and I'm able to function how society wants me to function. And that's it. I don't feel this major burden or shame or embarrassed or an effect that, you know, there's no negative to it in my opinion. So I think if you just try it and see a psychiatrist, you never know what's going to happen. You know, it could be the best thing for you.
And now let's talk a bit more about the podcast. So when did you start the podcast? It's 2 years old now, right?
It's like a year and a half, 2 years. I was moving over to London, but the pandemic hit, so I was stuck at home with my parents for like 5 months. And I thought, what am I going to do with myself? And I just randomly woke up one day. This is stuff I do all the time. I'll randomly wake up and I'll like go get a tattoo. And my family would be like, what the fuck? The other day I was walking down the street and I was meant to be at work. And I just walked into a tattoo shop and I got my sister and my nickname tattooed on me. And I just texted it to my sister being like, surprise.
Oh, that is brilliant.
I know, probably in an episode. But anyway, so I just woke up one day and I was like, oh, I really want to just write about my journey and what I've done so far.
Writing.
Yeah, so I started a blog and I started putting that out there. And then I moved to London and I was still writing. And so I then again woke up one day and I just started a podcast. I just looked it up and I just started one. And I don't think I told my family until like the day it was maybe getting released. I'm someone that I'm like, I like listening to myself. I'm the type of person that walks around a park and I'm listening to my podcast myself. That's all I listen to.
That is iconic.
And so I was like, but then other people started messaging me being like, they had never, you know, spoken to anyone or listened to anyone that had bipolar. You know, you saw podcasts out there that talked about bipolar, but not about the, you know, daily life, especially people that are like, you know, functioning in the world and going to work. And yeah, people just started to message me and say, you know, I really relate to what you're talking about and I've never felt this way before, like I've never related to anyone, and that's how I felt.
Is that people who have bipolar as well that are reaching out?
I mean, it can be both because, you know, bipolar crosses over with so many different mental health issues, ADHD, borderline personality disorder, you know, there's so many different things that it crosses with. So even people that don't have bipolar can still relate to it. So yeah, it was just crazy. And I just was like, fuck, I'm like not unique in any way. I'm kidding. I am.
And you're signed with a
podcast network. So
Yeah,
last
brilliant.
year in March, I got signed to Australia's top network, which was super exciting. They won Australia's podcast network of the year 2 years in a row now. So that was probably the biggest thing that's happened so far to the podcast.
And has that opened new opportunities as well?
Yeah, I've been able to, you know, meet different people, interview different guests.
You have guests. It's
Yeah.
personal accounts, isn't it? It's almost like your diary.
Yes.
But you have guests on as well.
Yeah, I have guests on to talk about, you know, their experience with bipolar or ADHD and things like that. And so it's been amazing to meet new people.
Just so our audience are aware, you also work in advertising. So this isn't your full,
Yes.
you know, this is just your side
hustle. And it's kind of exhausting
Yeah, I
because,
bet.
you know, I go to work like freaking 9 till 7. I'll come home, I'll answer emails and things like that. And then on top of that, I record my podcast. You know, I have a manager and a social strategist, but, you know, I'm the producer, I'm the video editor. So it's hectic, but it's worth it.
So obviously that's a lot with work life,
Yeah.
podcast, and you obviously experience manic episodes.
Oh,
How
yeah.
do you juggle all of that?
So I experience hypomanic episodes. Like you're never not going to experience them. You know, it's not like you take your bipolar medication and that's it. You never have an episode again. Not true.
Yeah.
I've had some of my worst episodes while being on bipolar medication. I don't want to scare anyone about that because you are able to get yourself out of them more. We're kind of noticing that my hypomania is kind of a seasonal thing. It happens in the summer.
Okay.
Because I'm out of routine more. You know, I'm partying more. It's summertime.
Yeah, of course.
And then usually when you go hypomanic, you have to come down, but then you go down and you get depressed.
crash.
And like my family have dealt with so much of me, and the guilt I feel of that is horrific. You know, even just 6 months ago, I had probably one of my worst depressions I've had in so long. And my sister had to deal with that. You know, I had to call her and tell her I'm not okay. And I was like ready to end it all. A week later, I wasn't. And it was just so crazy to me that my mind can be like that. And I'll notice when I'm in an episode probably halfway through.
Okay.
Because I'll be sitting at home, I'll be masturbating like fucking heaps. Be like in a fucking masturbating marathon. And I'll be like, am I in an episode? But also I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to go out, call some people, get sloshed, which is so unlike me.
Yeah.
I plan everything down
Yeah.
to a T, and I'll be like 5 p.m. and I'm like, fuck it, let's go get cocktails, which is just not like me.
Yeah.
And that's when, you know, I bought my sister a Cartier bracelet once randomly. It was my birthday. And I don't know what happened. I'd been depressed. I felt bad. And I was like, I'm going to get her a Cartier bracelet. Like 800 pounds later. And she's like, no, return it.
accept
And I was like, why doesn't she want my gift? So then I'm like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then I used to not realize any of this until after it was done. So it's getting better.
Yeah, and you put preventative measures in, you can kind of with structure and
Yeah,
routine. And
but like, you know, traveling's really hard.
Yeah.
You have to be in routine, and you can't be in routine when you're traveling.
No.
Like, I don't go to new restaurants unless someone takes me there. I don't travel unless it's been like quite organized for me. And I have to take a day off before I travel. I have to take the day off after I get back. So it's a big thing. And I was recently in Australia, and by the last week that I was there, I was gone for 3 weeks. I was just like a mess. I was like, I have to go home. It's just too long of a time for me to not be in routine. So it definitely is, you know, a struggle. And there's so many things you have to maintain when you have bipolar that sometimes you're just like, fuck it, I give up. Like, let me just have cocktails on a beach and I'll deal with it when I'm back, you know? And also with bipolar, you know, I have 2 autoimmune disorders. I have an underactive thyroid and narcolepsy.
And is that linked to bipolar?
Yeah. A lot of women who are neurodivergent,
Yeah.
you'll most likely have multiple autoimmune disorders, and you'll also have more in the future.
Wow.
Yeah, so I also get sick a lot, and I feel guilty because people think I'm like faking it, or people are like, you're really unhealthy, you're not like clean because you're constantly sick, but it's all to do with bipolar.
And is this something, have you known this for a while, or were these you sort of joining the dots through this whole journey?
Every year I'm discovering something different. You know, I didn't know that I would have multiple autoimmune disorders which could be linked to my bipolar. I didn't know that getting sick is quite common because of my bipolar. And these were things I've been learning in the past year.
Wow. So if someone is watching this right now and can relate in some capacity as to sort of perhaps they don't feel their mental health is right, what would you say to them?
I think the biggest first step is finding a really good psychiatrist, and trial and error. It's just so worth it if you're thinking. This is very controversial, but I wouldn't take medication from a GP because they're the first, door to get through to go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Just go to one and use a GP for a referral.
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have someone, that's such a great advocate for mental health.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And please tune into the podcast. It's fantastic.
Yes,
and
it's the Bipolar Diaries podcast. It's available on all platforms. And then I also post content on Instagram, the Bipolar Diaries _ TikTok, the Bipolar Diaries, and I have a Facebook group, the Bipolar Diaries podcast.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check it out and we'll link it all below. But thank you so much,
Thank
Anna.
you.
It's been great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. She's just amazing, isn't she? She's just so confident and amazing. And
She's fabulous.
That's so cool. I really want to listen to her podcast now. I've not actually listened to it
girls,
before.
you must tune in. It's
definitely.
brilliant.
She's so cool.
Yeah, it's basically her diary.
We need to have her back on. We
I
need to have her
know.
on the group chat.
I could have talked to Anna for hours.
She seems so fun. But yeah, it's so brave to obviously speak about. I think like those kind of mental health issues, I feel like people don't speak about that openly.
I think it's like a topic that's not really spoken about. So I think like hats off to her for being so honest about it.
Open, yeah.
And like I think like she said, like so many other people have like contacted her and like come back to her saying like this has helped me in like so many ways that you don't know. And I think that's really nice for her to like be able to hear that back.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like especially if you're struggling and you have all these weird symptoms and you don't really know what it is, hearing someone else talk about it, you're like, oh, maybe that's like, maybe I should speak to someone, maybe that's what's going on, and it hopefully will help other people go speak to
There are so many
someone.
crossovers, bipolar crosses over especially for Anna with depression and anxiety and things like that. But anyway, we're going to move on to dilemmas now. So for those of you that watch the LuxeGirl show, see that we do answer your dilemmas. They'll always be anonymous. So hit us up. Anyway, we've got a few to answer today. We're hoping they get juicy as the podcast continues.
please send them in. We're all like in relationships and boring, so we need some like single life diaries.
some drama.
We are also all wife, aren't we?
So we need to live through your single lives. Please send them through. I mean, they don't have to be about boys or girls or whatever. It can be friendship things, whatever's going on in your life. Send them through.
Exactly. So first up, hi girls. I need some serious bestie advice. The other night I was out for dinner with my uni girls and their boyfriends. It was all going really well until I noticed that one of my close friends had been making strange sly digs about me all night. I didn't really clock it until another friend flagged it. But after, I noticed that I was being the brunt of every single joke. She was also purposely telling the table and my new boyfriend really embarrassing stories of me from uni, and they were always at my expense. Do you think she's jealous? She has a boyfriend herself, so it doesn't really make sense to me. What do you guys think about this, and do you think I should address it?
That's really weird.
I mean, that's really mean, first of all.
Yeah, that is mean.
Like, just a bit rude, I think.
I hate people who like make jokes at other people's expense.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny if you do it once and you're all really close and it's like, oh, I remember when you did that, and it's like everyone's laughing. But once you do it once, twice, 3 times, it's like it's not fun anymore.
I think I would ask her about it. I would just say like, oh, I noticed you just kept, like saying all these things, like digging me out, like, is everything okay, like between us or whatever. I think
that's weird. I guess she said, is she jealous?
Yeah.
But then if she's got her boyfriend there, I mean, maybe, I don't know.
No, but not jealous. She could not be jealous of the boyfriend, just jealous of the girl.
Of her.
Yeah. I would talk to them and just be like, have I done something wrong?
Is everything okay?
Yeah. But I think just keep it like cool and chilled. Like, don't make it into a big deal and seem just be like, oh, I don't know, have I upset you or something?
I don't know. That sounds a bit fishy to me.
But to do it like multiple times.
Yeah, multiple.
Yeah, she doesn't sound like a great friend.
No.
Sack her off.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say that, but I was like, that's not helpful right now.
Yeah, no. I've been seeing a guy since October and all's been going really well. He's really sweet, gets on with my friends and family, plus he's keen for commitment and has even talked about making things official. Cringe. AKA asked me to be his girlfriend. This is all great, but it's become quite apparent that there was an overlap with me and his ex. I didn't know this at the time, but have put the puzzle together. Can I actually trust this guy? If he did it before, will he do it again?
Yes, he will.
He will. I think he will, 100%.
Naughty.
I it's so difficult. I know where. I don't know. I mean, there's like that saying, I was saying this to Daisy the other day, there's that saying of like nothing good starts in a getaway car. I've just quoted Taylor Swift. But it's like, you know, if you're like you're leaving the relationship with him when he's cheating on someone, I guess you didn't know at the time, but he probably would do it again. At the same time, I like, not to like put this on my friends, but I know friends that this has happened to, and they're in great relationships now, and like, but I guess it's always in the back of your mind, right?
If it was obviously further on into the relationship, then obviously that's not great, but I feel like at the beginning maybe it's...
But it's more the fact that he was he had a girlfriend, cheated on his girlfriend with this person.
With this girl.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Like, who's to say he's not going to do that to you when you're like
I'd keep him at an arm's length.
Yeah, but I guess if it sounds like from what she said, he's really sweet, he's keen for commitment, blah blah blah.
He might have just had a bit of a wobble.
Yeah, maybe
his head might have turned.
You have to just think like, yeah, maybe you were just the one, and like, you know, his head turned for you, and that's why he did it. And like, obviously that's shitty. I guess you have to think about how's he dealt with that situation with his ex. Has he told her? Has he apologized? Is he like, you know, I guess making up for it. Trust is so important though. Like, you don't want to be there feeling every time they're going out like, oh my god, what's happening?
Yeah, you don't want to have like that thought constantly in your head.
You want to trust
as long as he makes you feel stable and secure.
Yeah.
Just to prove himself at the end of the day.
Exactly.
That relationship he previously had may have fizzled out months before they actually ended it. So, and
you never know the full details unless
That's
you obviously
true.
ask. So if you're actually very worried about it, you should speak to him and be like, listen, I obviously trust you, I guess. But what actually happened towards the end? Why did you do it? Yeah.
And talk to each other about it.
Well, keep us updated.
Yeah.
We'd love to know how that goes.
So for those of you listening through the podcast, we have a game segment. We had a game segment every single week on the LuxeGirls show. We're going to continue this via podcast. If you want to check us out on YouTube, please do. But we're basically all holding paddles, which have for, on and against. So we're going to play a little game of for and against.
Yeah, so basically we've rounded up some hot topics and things that are going on at the moment, and we're going to do a little vote and have a little chat about all of these things going on. So the first little one on my list is Hailey Bieber's new haircut. What are we all saying?
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we've got...
Oh my god, Amrit!
So we've got... Wait, so what have you put, please? So we've got 2 4s and... Oh no, we've got 3 4s and Amrit has put against. Amrit, I'm going to come to you first.
I think I just love her with like longer hair. I'm just like, I think because on myself, I would hate to have that hair length. And like, I look up to her a lot in terms of like style and stuff. So seeing her like with this like really short, kind of like younger looking hairstyle, I can't really see that on myself anymore. Obviously, like she rocks it. She looks amazing. I'm just getting like...
You're not tempted for the chop?
No, I'm definitely not. I'm just getting schoolgirl vibes.
Yeah, to be fair, I think the issue was that look that she came out in. It was like a little mini skirt, little sweater vest and like loafers, and it looked like she was a 5-year-old going to school.
I personally love it.
No, she looked great. She looked great, but it was like a bit of that like preppy, quite childish vibe, and I see her as such like an elegant, like cool girl.
But I think she'll still, knowing her, she'll still make it look elegant.
Oh, of course.
And to be honest, Hailey could shave all her head off, and I'd still think
same.
100%.
I'd probably go and do the same the next day.
Yeah, I mean, she used to have quite short hair. Actually, she used to have really short blonde hair, and like even at the Met Gala, she looked sick. So I'm sure.
Okay, next one. Matty Healy's 1975 performances.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I freaking love him.
So hang on, just for people listening, Bea's gone against, so is Amrit, and Sapna and I are for.
Yeah, I love Matty Healy. I love the 1975. I think their concerts, I've only really started seeing it obviously because of TikTok, like what they're like. And I just think they're so fun. He sometimes gives me the ick. I won't lie. He does give me the ick sometimes. But I just think he's so cool.
Did you see the way he was grabbing the camera? So
yes!
the cameras that were filming the concert, he was grabbing the cameras and pulling them to
he
his
was like
crotch
thrusting
and
them. Yeah, I know.
I think he's such a creep.
Yeah.
Like some of the things I've had, like I was listening to the radio and they were talking about some of the things that he's done, and I was like, you can't be doing that at a concert.
Yeah.
He was rolling his eyes behind his head.
But like, it's just a bit weird with like some of the girls.
He does it for a reaction, and people,
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Also, I think he does this thing where he'll bring it's kind of like a really fucked up version of Justin Bieber One Less Lonely Girl, where he brings up people on stage and kisses them. But I have seen he does ask for consent before he does it. He's like whispers in their ear and I assume asks if it's okay first, which I think that's one of the things people are being a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I think that's what's put
Can we
me
just
off.
say we were meant to be going to Justin Bieber next week?
So was I. It's so upsetting.
It's actually really upsetting.
I just want to be his One Less Lonely Girl.
I know.
I mean, I always dreamt of that. So.
Oh my god. Next one is so Selena Gomez is apparently dating Drew from the Chainsmokers. Do you guys know about this?
Mm-hmm.
How do we
I don't
feel?
really
Right,
know.
let's vote. 1, 2, 3.
I don't think I
I'm-
didn't
yeah,
really
I'm
care.
neither.
Like,
You
on this
neither.
one.
I think I'm more for
Amrit's
I
4.
think-
I've put against, and Daisy and Bea
I
kind
just-
of neither.
yeah.
in the middle.
I don't really follow Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not invested in her.
I think
at
the
all.
only reason I'm against is because she's just been through so much shit, and I feel like she has had quite a big break from men and like being with someone. But I just think he's like so random. Like he's just so random for
I
her.
think that's why I'm for.
Really?
Because like after watching all the stuff that she's like gone through, I'm just
Yeah.
like, fair enough. Like date whoever you want, have a good time. Like you deserve to be with
for
someone
sure. Have fun.
who makes you happy. And if he is the person who makes her happy, then
Fair enough. I think
you know what? Go
the
for
other
it.
thing though is I saw apparently he was dating someone else like
Oh,
a
yeah.
month or 2 ago. So for me, it's a bit like Selena, don't get yourself like hurt again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about him, but
No,
like
neither.
for her, I'm like, go for it, girl.
Yeah.
Next one, Kylie's baby name. For or against?
Well, okay. So Amrit's put against,
I
Daisy's put against. I put 4, and
I've put
Bea's
4.
put 4.
I just think
Actually, I'm mixed.
Why
Mixed.
give your child a name and then change it? What is it? Cloudy, stormy. What is
So are
it?
you,
Well,
are you
basic-
against it
so
because
she's-
she changed it?
Well, I just
Basic. So apparently, obviously I'm a big fan. She was like she gave birth, and you have to put a name on the form, and you've got
Right.
baby brain, you've just given birth, you're a bit like, oh my god. I think she just had to put something down before the form went right, and they
don't
just went
believe
with
that.
I
Wolf
don't
or
believe that
whatever.
either.
Do you know
Rubbish.
what?
do you think?
rubbish. She just realised Wolf isn't a good name.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of down for all
Wolf's,
these.
I think Wolf's quite cool. If
I
you're
think
hot.
Wolf is
Do you
cooler
prefer-
than Air.
Okay, so you guys prefer Wolf to
Oh
Air.
my god, air, fire.
No,
like,
no, no.
what?
But if
Yeah,
you, like, I
Stormy.
like how they spell it. Like, I think it looks cool when it's
Yeah.
written down.
I agree.
Like was it AIRE?
Yeah, I think I prefer it to Wolf.
It looks the shit. I don't know. It just looks like a cool word written
It
down.
look
I
yeah,
don't
it
know
looks
why.
like a cool word, but I think the actual name, like Stormy and Air, it's just giving weather type. So
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
I
not-
think
I'm
at
not
least it's the
vibing.
same theme. I think I like that.
Yeah. But I think
don't
with
know.
the Kardashians and Jenner, they always give their kids such weird names, and everyone's like WTF, but then
Yeah.
everyone just grows to love them in the end. So I feel like
know,
we'll
yeah,
do the same.
exactly.
About
Like, I don't feel like it's a shock that
No,
the baby's called
it's
Air.
not.
Like,
Doja Cat at Paris Fashion Week couture.
I'm quite for it.
For
Daisy.
Okay, Daisy's for, me and Amrit against, and Bea's against as well. I just thought, I mean, I don't know, it's couture. It's meant to be
Yeah, if you want to blow,
avant-garde.
if I would do something like that, honestly, to blow
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's cool, but I also, like, I think when you're watching the show and then she's just there in this, like, head-to-toe red bedazzled thing, my eye was going to
Yeah,
her,
they-
which is
Yeah.
cool, but I'm a bit like,
I guess
okay.
that's
it
what you
looked
want,
like they
though,
kind of
isn't it?
screwed
Yeah,
her
couture
over a bit
show.
there. Like, she sat there like a bit of a melon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just thought it just looked a bit bizarre.
But I mean, there were weirder things, obviously the lion heads and everything, it was all a bit...
Yeah.
But I
very
prefer
strange.
to be dressed with a lion head than like
Head
a,
to-
like
to
a, literally like a
pimples.
red pimple. Or
It would just be
something.
quite
quite
uncomfortable.
jokes,
I mean, yeah.
Took 4 or 5 hours.
Good for the lols, I
Yeah.
guess.
Stick
Right,
on.
Brooklyn Beckham's recipes. 3,
Oh,
2,
don't.
1.
Against.
Everyone's
I'm so
against.
glad we're all against.
Honestly,
He gives nothing.
He's giving nothing. Did
Like-
you watch that video of him making a gin and tonic, thinking it was like this revolutionary
Do
creation?
you know what? Do you know what I think? Is these nepo babies. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some nepo babies are great at sort of accepting. You know, I'm very privileged. I've come from this family where of fame, of
Yeah.
fortune, and I'm gonna own it. And
Exactly.
This is,
I've had privilege.
yeah,
I accept
he,
it.
He clearly didn't afford the Lamborghini by being a chef. So just
Oh my
just
God,
turn
yeah.
around and say, my mum's posh spice. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad's David.
Yeah, my dad is David. I mean, everyone in the world knows who David Beckham is.
Yeah.
So
I
don't,
think.
don't try claim you're a chef.
I know. I feel like it's just a weird,
bit confused,
weird
I think,
situation.
isn't he?
I think it's fine. He wants to go into being a chef. He wants to go into cooking. That's great. He loves it. Great. Good for you. But don't pretend you're like this amazing, like talented, like
Yeah.
I think he
doing
should be
something
a bit
different.
jokes about it and be
Yes,
like,
he needs to,
crazy.
be
Yeah.
like, lean into it.
Loosen up a bit.
lean into it and be like, I'm gonna make porridge, and he literally just
Yeah.
does oats,
Yeah.
honey, and be like, wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He should
yeah.
just-
Needs to be a bit. Also, bringing me on to, have you watched the video of him and Nicola doing the
Don't.
Vogue thing? He looks, everyone's comparing
No,
him to Jamie
honestly.
Oliver in the 90s. It's
No,
so
it's
funny.
So cringe.
It's literally the most awful thing
It's
ever.
really
so
bad.
Like I just feel like
awkward.
they both have no personality.
No, they
I just feel
don't.
like I feel mean for saying that, but like it's so true.
I
They
know.
give nothing.
But then, see, it's our
he was
fault.
born
We're,
to be a husband.
we're like
Yeah.
putting them on a pedestal. Where like Vogue is putting them on this and that. It's like we are the ones feeding it by like
Yeah.
giving them the attention. So we need to stop.
Next up now.
Up. Oh, okay. Lucien Laviscount. I don't know how to say Laviscount even from Emily in Paris. Just him in general.
God.
Okay, so Amrit, myself, and Daisy have all put against, and B has put 4.
Why not?
Him posing. You know when he was being
have
filmed.
you seen?
The Louis Vuitton.
I know, but like
That was like me in my bedroom before a night out.
No, like
Yeah,
honestly, the
yeah.
biggest ick I've ever
He
seen
gave
in
me
my
a
life.
really, to be fair, I haven't seen it. I just think he's like good looking.
He's
I
quite
think he is
sexy.
good. He is
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
looking. I think in the show, I think because they are all American and he's British, he
British.
just seems like a bit too
100%.
extra. 'Cause he's like, yeah, lads, and it's like, what? You don't usually speak like that, do you? So I think it's a bit put on. But out of the show, obviously there was the Louis Vuitton show, and he was wearing that, like his
Didn't
outfit.
he arrive on a car on top of a taxi?
Yeah.
Oh, he jumped on top of a
He
car and
jumped,
started doing
yeah.
some
That's quite
weird.
jokes.
Dancing.
I mean, I've said against. Now I'm being like, he's so cool.
I know. But I think he looked cool. I think he was going a bit extra. It's fine. He's getting the shot, but it was a bit of an ick.
It was just
Oh,
everything
no,
just
really?
trying a bit too
A
hard.
bit too- we'll show you the
to
video.
appear
Oh no,
afterwards.
I'm probably going to take that back.
Okay, final one.
Yeah.
The wolf cut. I'm for. We're all for.
We're all for.
I love it.
Well, I've just written a story about it on LuxeGirl Hub if anyone wants to go check it out. But I think it's actually quite a cool, like, it's edgy, but anyone can do it. I thought it was, you had to have a really specific type of hair, or like really short hair,
No,
really
I
long
do
hair.
think you're going to need a lot of products to sort of
You
keep it.
don't.
No, I think it's
really
effortless.
don't.
Really?
It's quite effortless because the cut is so specific. Like they do a lot of layers. You don't actually need much product. When I
Mimi Moocher rocks.
I know she
Oh
looks
my
really
God,
good.
yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I can't say I'm going there anytime soon.
No.
But
I can appreciate a good hairstyle.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
But
looks
how
cool.
funny that all these 90s looks are coming
I
back.
know.
I know, I was
it's
thinking
cool.
that.
I
I'm pretty
like
sure
it.
my mum had the wolf cut when she gave, after she
Really?
gave birth to me. Yeah.
But there's like different degrees of it. Apparently, you can go like medium wolf cut, so it's just a little bit of like a
I
layered
think
situation.
you would do it.
Really?
I don't know. I feel
think
like
you would
my
really
hair's
suit
quite
it.
messy
Please.
anyway.
You would suit it actually like a bit more.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's like it's quite messy anyway, so I could,
Yeah.
you know, go with the effort.
well,
so.
guys.
Sorry,
it's been-
I actually have one
Yeah,
more we
go
have to
for it.
speak about. Amrit, I know you're going to have an opinion on this one. The what's it called? It ends with us cast being revealed for the show, for the movie.
I'm against.
I don't. Okay, you two don't know it. Okay, so this is blowing up
Yeah.
on TikTok, so we have to talk about it. But basically, there's this viral book, Colleen Hoover. Everyone loves it. I've not actually read it. I just know so much about it because of TikTok. And they're making a movie, and they've just cast the cast, and everyone's really upset about
I'm
it.
very upset about it.
So it's Blake Lively.
The character is this beautiful like red-haired girl. She's quite young, and Blake Lively, obviously she's beautiful, but she's blonde and she's a little bit older. When I just like thought of like the character of Blake Lively, it's like the complete opposite of what I
and
thought.
that's upsetting.
I know,
isn't
and
it?
you hear like people say like, oh, like the book's so much better than the movie. Like I've never been in the situation where I've read the book before,
Yeah.
but now I'm actually like,
No, the book is always better than the film.
Yeah,
so
and
you've
I'm
got to
just-
stick with that.
yeah. And it was and the guy is
From
Jane the Virgin. Did you guys watch
Yeah,
that?
No.
his name
Justin. Is it
Justin
Justin?
Baldoni from
Yeah.
Jane the Virgin. Also, I mean, fine.
Fine, but
I
he's
really-
producing the movie, and
Is
he's
he?
the
Always
main.
didn't put himself
and
as the
then
main
he's the
character.
So I was like,
No, but you know who I really imagined it being is Theo.
Theo James.
Yeah, from White Lotus.
Oh,
yeah, people really wanted
Yeah.
him to be it, but
Fan cast. I really thought they'd listen to the fan cast, but no.
they didn't. No, but yeah,
Anyway,
we'll see
that's
when
a
it comes
shame.
out. But yeah, I'm just quite sad about that.
Guys, this has been great.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
so
Bea
much,
and Amrit,
guys.
for joining
Thanks
us.
for having
so
us.
fun.
It's been so fun.
And we will link the LuxeGirl Hub below,
Yes,
our
we
social
will.
channels,
Yes.
and you'll be seeing us more regularly. We've also got an episode every other week where we take the LuxeGirl vlog cam and we give you behind the scenes access to the LuxeGirl office.
Yeah, so it'll be every other week. We're going to have a podcast episode, which you can also obviously watch on YouTube. So what you've just listened to, go have a look at our faces if you would like. And then the other 2 weeks will be vlog. So, yeah.
Exciting stuff coming up,
See
guys.
you soon. Exciting.
thank you.
Bye, guys.